Speed is also an issue in Louth. Gardaí Frida McCaig and Damien Fanning are doing speed checks in an unmarked car on the M1 motorway near Dundalk. One of the problems they encounter is cars and vans driving at excessive speeds in the mornings and evenings, going to and from Dublin.
We set up a speed checkpoint here on the motorway. We're at the minute we're just doing it for vehicles travelling north. So we'll just see what we come up with here. Speed limit's 120, so if there's anything in excess of the 120 kilometres, we'll go after them and put them in. In effect, it is a good road. However, if you're travelling at 125 kilometres an hour and you have an accident at that speed, it's like falling from the 9th floor of a building. So on impact, you're going to be killed instantly if you're travelling in excess of the 120. Just because there is a limit of 120 on the motorway doesn't mean you need to actually travel at that speed. You need to take in the surroundings and the weather conditions on that particular day.
141 there.
Nope. We are just going to follow a vehicle up the motorway here. It's travelling at 141 kilometres an hour. So we'll just go down and we'll just pull the driver in and have a word with them. A huge majority of collisions that are out there are down to one single factor, which is speed. Whether it's on the motorway or whether it's on regional roads. If you're travelling in excess of the speed limit and you are involved in a collision, there is a very good possibility that, you know, there could be a fatality from that collision.
When they are travelling faster, it actually shortens the reaction time to something that if a car pulled out from one lane onto the other in front of them, they mightn't have as quick to react as if they were travelling at a slower speed.
When they finally catch up with the car, they pull him in.
141 kilometres on the motorway, okay? It's a speed limit of 120. Do I need to say why you're travelling so fast?
With northern drivers, they are subject to the same laws as people from the south. However, they don't get the penalty points at the moment anyway.
Not all cars stop like this one did, and often the guards have to try to catch up with the driver before they cross the border.
When you're stopping a car, especially in the Dundalk area, it is always going to be a concern that they will try and take off. They just want to get away and cross over into the north. But we have to be conscious of other road users and our own health and safety as well.
The driver later paid his ticket, an €80 fine. As a Northern Irish resident, he didn't get points on his licence. Drogheda. Andy Cosgrove and Martin Carroll are on patrol in the town when they spot a car with no discs.
Just met this vehicle head on and just at a quick glimpse, there was absolutely nothing displayed on the windscreen. So I said to Martin, we're just going to have a look at this car.
It turns out the car has no insurance, road tax or NCT discs.
What's the story? There's no insurance.
And he has another problem. He's no driver's licence with him, or any means of identification to say who he is.
Okay.
You have any colleague?
I'm not known at the moment.
So he had no photo ID, and I asked him his name.
Your name is?
His partner gets involved in the discussion. Andy wants to establish clearly the identity of the driver. He takes the woman aside so he can verify the name the driver has given him.
Can I just talk to you for a second?
Although Andy asks her for the name of the driver, she gives him a different name. She later says that she thought Andy wanted the name of the owner of the car, a different person.
Then I asked one of the passengers who identified herself as his girlfriend, and she gave me a different name. So there is a bit of confusion.
There's no identification.
Once again, Andy asks the driver for some form of ID to prove who he is.
You need to prove to me who you are.
The man eventually finds a document with his name and address on it.
Has it put your name on it?
Yes, my name's on it.
After all this time and confusion, the driver is who he claimed to be all along.
It's just as simple as... Yes, okay.
He says we tell him who got the car off, and I said...
That's not the question.
I didn't notice what you said. I'm sorry.
No, I'll give you money.
It takes a couple of minutes and sort it out, but it turned out afterwards that she gave me the name of the person that owned the car.
Happy that they have established his name, Martin contacts base and runs checks with the Garda Pulse system. It turns out there's a bench warrant out for his arrest. He failed to turn up in court for previous summonses.
We eventually got a name, and when we checked that person out, it was found that the person had a bench warrant in existence for him, meaning that he was previously summoned to court. He failed to appear, and a bench warrant was issued by the district court. Once there's a bench warrant issued for a person, yeah, you have to arrest them there and then. There's no, come up at another time. It's done and dusted on the road.
The warrant out for his arrest is for charges of drink driving and assaulting a Garda.
Full details of it at the moment, okay? But our system has also shown that there's a bench warrant in existence for your arrest, okay? So it's now 5:24 p.m, so now I'm formally arresting you, alright? You're on the bench warrant. You're not obliged to say anything to do, so whatever you say will be taken in writing and maybe given an afterwards, okay? Understand that? Alright. Now, for safety reasons, we'll place handcuffs on you, alright? When we discovered there was a bench warrant, Martin just inquired as to what the bench warrant was issued in relation to. It turned out that it was for a previous drink driving offence, an alleged assault then on the arresting member, and criminal damage to the patrol car.
As the warrant is for alleged serious offences, Martin radios for backup.
The radio message that I received in relation to the bench warrant, I was informed that this person had previous for assault. So when you hear that, you think that there is a potential there for a bit of aggression when you're informing this person that you're going to arrest him. So immediately you look for assistance. So if he decided to cut up or get aggressive, at least we had the numbers there to assist ourselves.
That was just not to say a minor incident, but an ordinary run-of-the-mill traffic stop. Turned out then he ended up being arrested, and he had to spend a couple of days in custody then.
They take him to Drogheda Garda station.
On arrest of a bench warrant, you bring the person to the next court date or district court sitting. There was none in Drogheda. It was a Friday evening, so we had to hold him overnight to bring him to Dublin the next day.
The driver was brought to the next available sitting of the district court. He was convicted of driving without a licence and no insurance. He got fines of €400 and was disqualified from driving for 7 years. For the previous charges of suspected drink driving and assaulting a Garda, he was found guilty and fined a further €900 and got a 2-year ban from driving for refusing to give a breath sample. Next week on Traffic Blues, a motorcyclist is pulled over for speeding.
You'll come out wearing a pair of jeans, driving like that, I'll be watching you after all.
A van is seized in Dundalk for no tax.
The last tax for this vehicle is 11.05.
And in Donegal, a man is arrested for drink driving.
Well, from real life